It's a team that goes into history. The Challenge Cup, the League Leaders' Shield, and now the Super League trophy itself. It is a clean sweep for a vintage side. St Helens are the side of 2006.
A fitting finale to a thrilling season. Engage Super League 11. The season started with 2005 Grand Final winners Bradford Bulls being crowned world champions after an impressive 30-10 win over West Tigers. Brian Noble's men would face stiff competition though to retain their domestic title. St Helens were many people's favourites, with Man of Steel Jamie Lyon the pick of the most talented Knowsley Road squad for generations. Leeds Rhinos had an equally impressive array of stars, and they were looking to bounce back from a narrow defeat in the previous year's Grand Final. Wigan Warriors were still in a period of transition, but there were high hopes at the JJB that Ian Millward could revive their flagging fortunes. Warrington Wolves were looking to build on their impressive run to the 2005 playoffs under the astute guidance of Paul Cullen. While Hull FC's Challenge Cup triumph offered the promise of an exciting new era at the KC Stadium for John Keir's men. Engage Super League 11 welcomed some new faces. London Broncos moved across the capital to the Stoop to become Harlequins. And enter the Dragons, the Catalan Dragons. They boasted the talents of Kiwi superstar Stacey Jones in their inaugural season. Huddersfield hoped to make giant leaps forward as John Sharp's men were expected to make a push for the playoffs. But many critics predicted a tough season for Wakefield. The Wildcats looked like they would face another fight for survival. And there was little optimism in Salford outside the Reds camp as they were tipped for a year at the wrong end of the table. Unsurprisingly, newly promoted Castleford were favourites for the drop, but the Tigers were determined to roar back into Super League. So 12 teams, one massive prize. 28 rounds of the league season lay ahead, followed by 4 weeks of playoff rugby, culminating in the Grand Final at Old Trafford. What followed was one of the most dramatic seasons in the history of Super League. It all began at the Jungle on Friday the 10th of February when Castleford made a welcome return to Super League.
Back where we belong! Yeah! We are Super League! We are Super League!
I'm so pleased to be back.
I'm a Castle lad, born and bred, so I'm delighted they have come back up, but tonight's no room for sentiment and I hope we give them a good hiding.
John Keir's Hull were the opening night opponents for the Tigers, who'd been promoted after a Brad Davis-inspired victory in the National League Grand Final.
We'd hung our hat on all year of getting promoted and we managed to achieve that. It was great for the club, great for myself personally, and now this is why we are here at the moment. We're very ambitious in what we want to achieve, But you know, the relegation, that's if everyone else wants to talk about it, that's fine. We've not even mentioned the R word. I don't think it comes into Terry's vocabulary at all.
It wasn't a great start for Newcastle coach Terry Mattison though, as Hull steamrolled their way to a fabulous first night.
Dominic to score! Great start for Hull FC. More pressure for the Tigers. Here's Domic on to Swain, and now Horn with Briscoe in support. Briscoe to score! What a start for John Keir's side. Sculthorpe.
Okay.
Teasing kick forward. Shenton might be in here. To Vian. Vian with the honour of scoring the first try for the Castleford Tigers back in Super League. Cook. Oh, it's off the post. Still confusion in the defence. Lupton's got it, and he scored. Castleford couldn't keep him out.
I knew it was going to be tough. We've got to deal with the game and look at where we went wrong and look at the positives, the good things we did. So we've got to turn that around fairly quickly.
That's our starting point. We're going to improve from here on in. Okay, there's loads of improvement in us. A real hard learning curve tonight, but we're going to get better from that.
Away from the heartlands of the game, the Rugby League were once again spreading the word into France, with the establishment of the Catalan Dragons in Perpignan and a determination to get it right this time.
The reason that I believe this one will be successful is that philosophically we've started with a different attitude. 17 of our players will be eligible to play for France. So on the back of it, the growth of the game domestically in France, we also hope to grow the game internationally. We can certainly value add to the competition in relation to supporters coming to the south of France, enjoying a different culture and the lifestyle that's down there. They can plan a holiday around it, and they can celebrate or commiserate with one another after a game against Les Catalans.
Wigan were first to sample the atmosphere in the Dragons' den and returned home with their fingers burned as Ian Millward's Warriors got off to the worst possible start.
Rinaldi left to Jones again, the pivotal figure, of course, in this Catalan side. It's over and left, a little sidestep and a reach for the line. Has Mark Hughes got there? He has. 1 minute and 16 seconds. And history will record that the Catalan Dragons have got off to a flying start. Would you believe it? Here's Mickey Hyam from dummy half for Wigan. On by Scott Logan. That's good hands and good handling, and it's suddenly a breakaway and a chance for Palliasina to gallop underneath the sticks. Great play by the youngster Chris Ashton in the middle of all that as well, and Palliasina did not need a second invitation. Rinaldi once more. Here's Stacey Jones. Now it's with Rudder. Rudder with a short pass, and he's put him through. Fakir is in. Oh, how much did that owe to sheer determination and power? Now everybody in Super League will know about Jamal Fakir, and what a potential talent he is. What a try. Now it's with Rudder. Rudder throws it wide. They're through again here. They are through again here. It's a terrific tie. Justin Murphy. Rudder again was at the heart of that. Kept the win, and Le Catalan keep the faith. Moran, untidy, but just about kept alive. Taken on with real pace. It's a little handoff from Richards, and the debutant will touch down as close to the sticks as he can. Level again. Clever play by Wigan. Sixth tackle coming up now. What can they do from here? Chan gets the ball away. Terrific hands. And what a try! Millwall can't believe it. Wigan have flattened. The Catalan are flying high. Hindmarch with the try that makes it all square again. Beattie's close. Couple of drives still to come. Rinaldi! Didn't quite touch the whitewash. Stacey Jones will. Can he get over? No, he can't. They're going to push and hurl and shove. He's got it down. He's got it down. Question is it a try? What a moment. The video referee will have to make the biggest decision of the night. Try, and the French side win it. No try, there's still hope for Wigan. trying to desperately get over the line. There's a real big push on here. The ball has gone to ground there. Was it touchdown legally? Wait for the roar when this decision is given. Le Catalan will win on their opening night in Super League. There's a kick to come underneath the sticks. There's no time left for Wigan. It is a famous, famous night in Perpignan. What a start for the French.
It didn't get much better for Wigan when they returned to more familiar surroundings in week 2, despite a 16-0 half-time lead. Tony Smith's Leeds hit back in the second half, and Millward's joy was short-lived.
Millard galloping back into position. A little dummy to his left. Oh, there was a big gap there. The Wigan defence for once was caught napping. They might just feel there is a little weakness to be attacked in this Wigan line, and there's Maguire. Oh, the fancy footwork was mightily impressive. He simply skipped round the Wigan man. Diskin brings it on. This is Sinfield, who looks left and then goes himself, and Kevin Sinfield scores the try that makes it level again, and Leeds cannot believe it. It's turning into quite a game. Leeds just happy to keep hold of the ball and run this clock down. They've come from 16-0 down at half-time to lead by 18 points to 16, and it could well be a winning lead as well. That's good play by Peacock. That's a great offload by Peacock. Here comes Maguire with a dummy. Maguire steps through, support to his right, and Burrow will skip under. No doubts now. It's a second successive defeat for Wigan. It's a second win for Leeds. That's a truly magical touch from Maguire once more.
For the first time in the history of Super League, Wigan had lost their opening 2 matches, and next up faced Robbie Paul's Huddersfield. Finally, there was some relief for Ian Millward, as the Giants were brought down to earth with a bang.
O'Loughlin, now Brown to Chris Ashton. Ashton taking on the Giants. Ashton, he's broken clear, and he'll score. What a start for Wigan.
I thought our last 2 performances were good. We just weren't consistent at vital stages at the back end of the game to put a team to bed. And if you look at last week, we lost in the last 7 minutes, and same over in France. So, you know, I knew we could do that.
The only hairy moments for St Helens so far had been on the players' faces, as they'd promised not to shave until they'd won 3 successive matches. After beating Harlequins and Castleford, their trio of wins was completed against Leeds, and the Razors came out.
Diskin skipping it away. It's a little grubber kick for the corner again, and Williams is after it. The touch is good, and Leeds have the opening try. It was a dinky little kick. Roby from dummy half. Anderson, soft hands. Gilmore. St Helens have the equalising try, and it was a wonderful pass by Paul Anderson. Roby, out it goes. Price, good ball by him. It's Melly at the corner. Too much power. But once again, it was the pass that undid the defence. Leon Price missing out 2 with the ball.
Few had been shocked by Saints' healthy start, but the early form of the Salford City Reds was raising more than a few eyebrows. Their stylish, if surprising, opening day win at Warrington was followed up by a victory against Le Catalan, though that match was marred by an injury to the French team's Kiwi international scrum half Stacey Jones, who'd missed the next 3 months with a broken arm. There was early pressure on Warrington's Paul Cullen, who saw his side lose their first 2, but they hit back on a thrilling night in round 3 against Hull.
It's a big testing kick. Farfili's on the chase. It's taken well by Rayner, and suddenly the way's open here for Rayner. Has he got the pace to go the full distance? Barnett's back, turn inside, then out, then inside and out again. What a score by Gareth Rayner. Fantastic touchdown by the Hull winger. Warrington desperate to get back on terms here, and this is good hands again. Farfili in at the corner. Good finish. It's a cavalry charge. Warrington are searching more. Bridge! It's another one! There's no stopping Warrington now. Where has this second half performance come from? Oh, what can Hull do from here? Oh, it's Briers! Interception! He could go all the way, Lee Briers, but he's going to turn it back for Henry Farfeely, and it's a hat-trick of tries for the winger. Hull get their pockets picked by Briers.
Saints unbeaten through the first 3 rounds, but so too were Bradford. The New Look Harlequins, the only side waiting for their first win. No doubt about the team of the month for March. Chairman John Wilkinson saw his Salford side record 3 wins out of 4. But his thoughts were focused more on the future and a brand new home for the City Reds.
We've got to leave the Willows by 2009. Unfortunately, this very loved old stadium, which is 105 years old, of course, it will not pass that Super League criteria. We've got a 20,000-seater stadium planned. We've worked on it for 5 years. It is the stadium for Salford, but there's a problem with the out-of-town retail, and we need the, Deputy Prime Minister's office or John Prescott to, to look at this. We're very confident that our outcome will be very positive.
There was no place like home, and for now, that home was the Willows.
Little chip over the top, being chased hard. It's going to be Finnegan who scores. Finnegan in for Salford's second. Picked up by Alker, they've got numbers out left, and over they go again. Finnegan, his second try of the night. This must go down as one of their vintage performances so far. And here's a chance for Finnegan, hat-trick. 3 tries on the night for the Salford forward. There aren't many of those to the Super League pound. It's a hat-trick for Finnegan.
We've worked the guys, very hard in the close season. I think we recruited quite smartly, brought in a little bit of quality this year in Duneman, Moole, Wilshire, which added to the people we already had here. We had a lot of good people here already, in Robinson, Alker, Fitzpatrick, and they've all gelled together very well and played very well as a unit.
If you look at our run for the first 5 games, to say that we've won 4 out of 5 has been a great achievement, but the hard thing for us now is to try and maintain it, and as we win more games, teams are going to stop underestimating us, which they have, I think, in the first few games. So, which makes it a lot tougher for us to win the games that people will start to expect us to win.
Salford had beaten Wigan in the snow, but the weather beat Leeds and Castleford when their round 4 meeting was called off because of a frozen pitch, as Arctic conditions enveloped Headingley. Summer rugby?
The referee has inspected the pitch, and it is the referee's decision that this game cannot go ahead tonight.
They managed to get the game on 2 days later, much to Castleford's regret, as the rampant Rhinos ran in 66 points to hand out a hammering to the new boys. There were 4 wins out of 4 for Tony Smith's side in March, as they kept up the chase on St Helens at the top.
Poaching. Here's Sinfield, and now on to Peacock. Peacock will turn, get the ball back to Diskin. Nice work from Peacock. Here's Poaching. And Sinfield's ball is forward, it's knocked down, the referee's let play go. Maguire to Lauatiti. Senior's going to be in here. It's a rout.
Go! First.
Lauatiti, great ball out wide to Smith, who has space. Smith still going, what a run. Here's Maguire now. Maguire's in again. That's a first half hat-trick for Danny Maguire.
A sensational month for Leeds saw them score over 200 points in their 4 victories. Their forward effort being anchored by a homecoming hero, Jamie Peacock, who'd returned to his boyhood team.
Where did you used to stand or sit when you...
I used to be over there on the walls as a kid. I used to sit on the wall. And I suppose as you get older, you end up further back in the south stand, but that's where I started. It was always a dream as a kid to play for Leeds, and now I've managed to do that. It can mean a lot to my family and friends as well, particularly my dad. I'll be pleased.
Peacock was right back at home then, but his former teammates at Bradford weren't doing too badly without him. They were still unbeaten as Hull came to Odsal for round 5.
It's Iestyn Harris, it's another of those long balls, it's Price, and then Vainikolo will touch down. Swiftly out once more, it's another terrific long ball, and look at Vainikolo, never going to be stopped there.
John Keir's position as Hull coach was the subject of much speculation, and as the Black and Whites missed chance after chance in the closing moments, the coach's position began to look increasingly uncomfortable. The Bulls, though, were now on an unbeaten run stretching back to the middle of 2005, which meant their round 6 meeting with St Helens had all the makings of a classic. The Saints had yet to drop a point, while Bradford were desperate to hold on to their Super League crown.
Soft hands, Gilmore. Fontaine happy. Such a strike force for the Bulls. Inside from Cunningham, and St Helens will open the scoring. It's another terrific long ball, and look at Vainikolo, never going to be stopped there. Leon Price against his former club, of course. He's going to have a little bit of a double here. Oh, has he reached? He has. My word, Leon Price. Cunningham's there in position again. He's having a terrific game tonight, Kieran Cunningham. He's going to go himself. Oh, typical. Absolutely typical. Kieran Cunningham, 5 yards out, like a bulldozer with 5 gears. Unstoppable. Cunningham. St Helens looking to work from inside their own 20, but here's Wilkie with a bit of pace. Look how quick the support is coming. Melly's away, Melly's away. Marcus Bai can't catch him, and Francis Melly. It's a great try, St Helens.
The form of their deadly rivals Wigan doubled up the joy for St Helens fans. The Warriors headed to their last game in March with just 1 win under their belts, and in thick fog at Odsal, sunk to their 6th defeat of the season.
I don't know what Wigan can see, but I can't see enough, so I don't know what they can see. Neither of us can see anything.
Wigan were in danger of getting lost at the bottom of the table, but there was no panic from the bench, yet.
You know, there's a lot of games to go, and I think sport's littered with the first 6 games, people panicking, but not in our case.
There was panic at the KC Stadium, though, as Challenge Cup holders Hull sunk to a 46-0 defeat at the hands of St Helens. It would be the final Super League match in charge for John Keir, who was sacked less than a fortnight later after a cup defeat at Bradford. But one coach checking in was Mick Potter, who arrived to take the helm of the Catalan Dragons, and his new team produced arguably their best performance of the season when they won at Warrington.
Rinaldi from dummy half. Catalan now with a wonderful opportunity. Here comes the kick. It's a touchdown. Murphy. Here's Rinaldi. Catalan just winding themselves up again here. Moved out to Hughes. Hughes to Verge. Step back on the inside. Here's Muniz. Little juggle with the ball and then back to Bosk. Oh, great try. Wonderful handling. Here's Bridge. Warrington really upping the tempo in this second half now. Clark running wide. Gleeson onto Farfili. Classic stuff. Classic stuff. Here's Mark Gleeson spinning it left. Sullivan again there, attacking the similar line here. Koilov. Oh, sublime step off the left foot and then off the right. Zoe Koilov ripping them apart here. There's only minutes left to play. Another try here would put them level. It's a drive to the line. It's Felous. Adel Felous. My word. It's all square again thanks to this. This the kick to give them the lead and the win, surely. What a night for the Catalans. First away win of the season. It's a thoroughly deserved victory. A step away from dummy half by Robbie Paul, and Stephen Wild with the injection of pace, and suddenly things are flowing here for Huddersfield. Evans ball back inside. This is Aspinwall, finished by Thorman. It's a fabulous team try for Huddersfield.
The Huddersfield Giants were setting off on what would be an historic season for the club. Guided off the field by John Sharp, they would make it all the way to the Challenge Cup final in August, while they were led round the pitch by a Super League legend who developed an interesting sideline.
I have a certificate to say that I'm a qualified nail technician. My partner had been doing it for 8 years. You know, she'd come home after a hard day's work and say, "Oh, I'm knackered, you know, I've been doing this and been doing that." And I used to think, well, it doesn't look that hard. You know, I've been out getting bashed about on the field and running, jumping up and getting off the ground. But I soon learned, and I take my hat off to her, because what she makes look very easy is quite a tough thing. I don't know whether or not rugby hands are made for doing work that delicate.
Paul. Neat dummy. Here's Paul Riley. Oh, the Quins have allowed him to turn. Still going Paul Riley. Back to Robbie Paul now. Brings in Brad Drew. Drew. Lovely dummy. Worked out wide. Misses Wild. Evans. Evans to score.
People have said to me that Huddersfield are lucky to have a player, you know, of my calibre to go to them, but for me it's the other way around. I feel absolutely blessed that I have the opportunity to learn under this coaching staff, but also to play alongside these players that I'm playing alongside, because they're really, really good. It's going to be an exciting, you know, next few years, as well as this season for the Huddersfield Giants.
The Giants were walking tall, with Saints the only team to beat them in March. Wigan and Wakefield were the two teams rooted to the foot of the table. With just 2 wins between them, Wakefield and Wigan's round 8 meeting had the early look of a relegation 4-pointer. The Warriors had knocked the Wildcats out of the Cup the previous week, but Wakefield took their revenge.
Solomona to Korkidas. Oh, he scored! What a start! Rooney now. Olima breaks through. He's still going, the Frenchman. Rooney supporting. Terrific stuff from the Wildcats. Solomona to Korkidas. Korkidas is going for it. He's got support from Halpenny. Halpenny will score. 3 and 10 for the Wildcats. Katic to Whittle. Whittle will score again for the Wildcats. This is brilliant. Demetriou, this is dream stuff here at Bellevue. Tickle. Oh, Tickle spilled it. Ops has got it now. Ops races clear. The icing on the cake from Sam Ops. Wigan capitulate. Wakefield Trinity Wildcats score. They're surely out of sight now.
Great team performance. It's nice to have a smile back on his faces as well, so really important victory tonight. To get a lead like we did in the first 40 minutes were really important, but I think the guys knew in there that they really had to dig in the second half. Wigan did come out fighting in the second half, but we weathered the storm and then pulled away.
It's a bit like going to war at the moment with a gun with no bullets. You know, we've got nothing to fire with because of that. No one thought at the start of the season that players like Oliver Wilkes, Jordan James, you know, Tim Yonkers, Bryn Hargraves would form the backbone of our team, which they were tonight. So, you know, but they tried really hard, those guys. You know, they only just come in on the team, and you know, I appreciate them trying hard. But obviously, you'd like to put a little bit more experience around them and some people with decision makers around them.
4 days later, a decision was made. It was Easter weekend, and with some massive local derbies ahead of them, Leeds, Bradford, St Helens and coachless Wigan needed some superheroes to get them through a busy few days.
Wigan have not had the best runs, but over the last couple of seasons, when they've been down, they've come back against us, had a big win against us at our place, and they've kicked on their season from there, so we're looking to get a good win this weekend and then take that form into the fixture against Wigan.
It's a big derby, Wigan Saints, nothing bigger, and to have experience from the other team this year, so I'm looking forward to it. Probably a few nerves, but that'll be a good thing, and so I'll probably get a nice reception when I go back to Knowsley Road. But no, I'm looking forward to it.
Cunningham, Sculthorpe, first try of the season for Paul Sculthorpe. Long switches it back to Sculthorpe. It was an untidy ball, it was an untidy tackle by Richards, and Lyons through, and Wellens will finish. Smart work by St Helens again. Anderson takes it on again. Pops it out of the back somehow, despite the fact there were two Wigan defenders around him. And it means St Helens can keep it alive. And here's Leon Price. Price with a support on the left. He's backed himself. Now it's Long, and Long will score. But St Helens still have a bit of momentum here. They're working it well down this right-hand side. Sculthorpe to Lyons. Terrific hands. Gardner. Great St Helens try again. Godwin. Lachlan. Looks as though it might have been forward. Referee says play on. Here's a chance for Ashton, who's handed him off, and he's away, and Ashton will score. Well, it's light relief for Wigan at last. Here's Lyon. Long's going to put the kick high. Where's this going to come down? Up they go. Hardman! Here's Leon Price again. It's Hooper. Hooper has scored. Roby waits. Saints 10 yards away. This is Leon Price. Price, well, they're keeping it alive somehow. It's back with Roby again. Wilkie pops it inside. Hooper is over for his second. Referee, no doubts. Asavalu held up. Sculthorpe. Good offload. Price too close to turn down the invitation. Well, they've still got 4 tackles to come here, Wigan. Looking for a bit of pride to salvage. O'Loughlin slides it in. It's Jordan James who scores the try. It's the first of his Wigan career.
Andrew Farrow wouldn't be the last man to suffer at the hands of Saints this season. But with Wigan's campaign heading towards a crisis, the powers that be were looking to hatch a plan to get them out of trouble. On Easter Monday, Wigan hit rock bottom when Harlequins beat them. But while the Warriors became worriers and people even started to talk about relegation, one of the biggest coaching stories of the Super League era was breaking, with Brian Noble the name in the frame to replace Ian Millward. Noble's own Easter period had begun with a dramatic win at Headingley.
Here's Withers. Back to Stanley Jean. Jean for the line, has scored. First try for Bradford. Referee wants them to get on with it as quickly as they can. Here's Millard from dummy half again now. Jamie Jones Buchanan, offload, Ellis! Great try. Robbie Burrow with a dummy, and another, still going! Oh, what a try! I'm not sure anyone else in Super League could have scored that. Fielden stands and waits. Back with Iestyn Harris with a dummy! Iestyn Harris for the line has scored! Here comes Deacon, puts it high, right across the face of the defence. Over it comes to Bai, who scores! Nobody home for Leeds. Leeds still a distance away. Up it goes. It's a good chase by Leeds. It's not back, it's Mathers who touches down. Here's Bai. We've got about 1 minute and 30 seconds left to play. And Bradford trailing by 2. No, they need a try. Can they create something here? Here's Hape. Back to Vainikolo. Great cover from Leeds, but it's desperate defending at the moment. If they see this set out, they've won the game. But Bradford have other ideas. It's moved out wide. Ferris puts his head down and scores. What a finish! What a finish! Bradford have won it. They have stolen it from under the noses of Leeds.
But for how much longer would Brian Noble remain a Bull? The fans did their best to persuade him to stay as the speculation about a move to Wigan intensified over the bank holiday weekend. He was still in charge as Bradford overwhelmed Huddersfield to round off their Easter programme in style, when Terry Newton was back in action and very quickly back amongst the points.
Newton from dummy half, Terry Newton, oh, he scored, out for 7 months, back for 7 months and back with a bang. Listen again, dummy half, close to the try line, well they'll not stop Fielden. He's like a juggernaut and from 5 yards out, no stopping Stuart Fielden. It's a good ball out to Carl Price. It's a clever little kick if Deacon can reach it, and he can. Terrific play from Bradford, they're keeping it alive. Deacon out to the near side. It's Harpe, and Harpe's over for the Bulls. What a tremendous try from Bradford. Withers was the dummy half again there. Finding joy down this left side, great hands. Harpe back into Vainikolo, who stretches out. And that sets the seal on it. The volcano's over again. And the Bulls have the half-century.
It was 50 and out for Brian Noble, though. 2 days later, he ended his 28-year association with the Bradford club and signed on as chief firefighter at Wigan, with his brief a simple one: to save the most famous club in rugby league from the flames of relegation.
A very big decision, but well thought through. You know, I think it's a terrific challenge, and I've never been one to shirk from challenges, ever. How difficult is it going to be? It depends, you know, it depends how people respond. You know, it depends how they react to some of my training methods and what we do in practice. You know, I very rarely would, I don't hang players out to dry, that's not my style, you know, but we need to have some honest words between each other within four walls and see how we can improve. But, you know, they're really, really attentive, and, you know, we've had some attention this morning. I think we've just got to stop feeling sorry for ourselves, because the reality is you just can't go down at Tesco's or Morrison's and open up a biscuit barrel of players. It doesn't happen, does it? You know, and potential as well. You know, people have got to stand up now and start performing. You know, nobody likes to see Wigan in the, you know, at the bottom of the table, but we're 10 games in.
As Noble settled into what had become the hottest seat in Super League, his new side responded immediately with their second win of the season, which, like the first, came against Huddersfield.
Here's Mickey Hyam now. Wigan trying to wind things up through Orr, who's going to go for the line and score. Well, he rather slipped underneath the Huddersfield defence. That's the way you do it, says the new coach. Fletcher, Richards has wrestled it. Great power from the winger. Here's Moran, chipping it for the corner. Richards! Oh, he just plucked it away from Gardner. Here's Moran, shapes to kick and throws it wide, and Tickle with a dummy and saunters through. And the Huddersfield defence will look at itself there and wonder what on earth went wrong.
Stepping up to the top job at Bradford was Steve McNamara, whose promised promotion came much sooner than anticipated. While Richard Agar was keeping the hot seat warm at Hull with a hat-trick of wins while they awaited the arrival of new coach Peter Sharp from Down Under.
Bradford takes the tackle. Chester. Dominic to score!
Things weren't going so well at Castleford, though, where the Tigers hadn't won since round 6. Player coach Brad Davis got his boots on again, but there was a bank holiday hiding at the hands of the Warrington Wolves.
Gleeson has Farfili in support. He scored it. Breers, wicked ball out wide to Gleeson, who helps it onto Farfili. Oh, he's kicked it forward. Farfili's going for the return. Back it comes into Swan. Swan now to Breers. He's evaded two. Lee Breers. Breers kicks it through. Oh, it's hanging. Surely Warrington are in here. They are. It's Torquay Love. Great try. Castleford working the ball down the line. McGoldrick. Oh, Breers is intercepted. And now Lee Breers will score. And he crosses. That just summed it up for the Castleford Tigers.
It was a fourth consecutive away win for the inconsistent Wolves, whose players had come up with an unusual way of keeping their eyes on the ball.
There was a bloke who plays here, Mark Hilton. He should have actually been doing it, but he's chickened out. He's a bit camera shy. He just set us a challenge one afternoon, see anybody could juggle, and then we started off and I was terrible, but the more you practice, the better you get. I know it's on another sport, but footballers, I think some at Crystal Palace, they juggle it but pass a ball to the foot as well. Obviously we can't do that and juggle and catch a rugby ball, but yeah, I think it's good for your peripheral vision and whatnot.
Like Rob said, just sort of having that extra vision sort of does help you juggling. Juggling sort of coincides with footy a little bit, and sportsmen in general, I think, just to help your hand-eye.
We have a toss-up at the moment whether the guys juggle post-training session or simply play guitars, so it's good for team spirit. And you know, one or two have really taken to it. They're very, very good, and we actually bring it into one or two training sessions, so we get the juggling and not too much of the guitars.
Like Warrington, Harlequins had found life easier away from home as they struggled to settle in at the Stoop. Henry Paul signed up to help the cause, and in his first game faced up to brother Robbie as his new side finally made some capital gains.
Lulai waits at dummy half. It's McClendon with a little dummy and a dash and a dart, and the pace to beat them all. Glorious try. Crabtree to his feet. Might have been a knock on there, but the referee says play on. Little dummy from Brad Drew, and this boy can shift, and he's only got the fullback to beat, and a lovely time pass back inside. It's touchdown. Harlequins are having to work hard on home soil against the determined Huddersfield, but they're doing well here. Here's Lulai. Lulai skipping away, looks to his right. Bradley Galilawa steps back inside and touches down. First try of the season for Bradley Galilawa. First try in Quins colours, and boy does he love that moment.
Saints were 6 points clear after another perfect month, but Warrington and Hull were on the rise, with the Giants on the slide after 5 straight defeats. The burning question as Super League headed into May was who could stop Saints. A record equalling 12 wins out of 12 from the start of the season had left the rest playing catch-up already. Spurred on by a disappointing end to 2005, there was even talk of them going through the whole season unbeaten. But that was before they went to the Gal Farm for round 13. Unlucky for some? Well, it was for St Helens.
Robbie Paul moving it left. Here's March, now De Veer. De Veer steps inside, and De Veer has the finish. What a start for Huddersfield. It's back with March. Oh, and it's hit Price, and Price is after it. Leon Price, here's Willie Tallow, and Tallow races away. Here's Paul again now. Throws it backwards. It's with Drew. Drew with a dummy. Half through. Now it's March. March held up. Back to Drew. Over the top. Great try, Huddersfield. Stuart Donlan scores. It is turning into a memorable night for those supporters. March with a little kick through. It's anybody's. It's March. March drops on it. If Huddersfield hold on here, surely that will be it. St Helens still have hope though. Out it goes, little pump ball from Sculthorpe, and Graham's over! There is still a chance. James Graham wants to get on with it. He knows that time is of the essence. Here we go. 47 seconds left to play. 5 tackles between Huddersfield and a sensational victory. 80 yards between St Helens and the impossible comeback. Who's going to hold on? Who's going to win it? Sculthorpe. That's 3-4 tackles gone already. Now they move it to this left-hand side. This will be the 4th tackle. Huddersfield desperately clinging on in defence here. Can St Helens find a way through? Cunningham. Now it goes left. Varsavalu. He gets it on again. This is thrilling stuff. Tallow now is held up, and he's going to be held down. This is it. Here we go. Last play of the game. Little kick over the top again. It's Drew who's there to take it. Huddersfield have won. The hooter will sound. It is a fantastic night for Huddersfield. After 5 straight defeats, the most sensational of victories, St Helens are beaten for the first time in Super League this season. What a result!
The hard work had started for Brian Noble, as Wigan remained rooted to the foot of the table after defeats to Castleford and Wakefield put daylight between the Warriors and the rest at the bottom.
It's moved back inside, here's Atkins. Atkins has twisted! Has he scored? Yes, he has! The try's given. O'Loughlin at acting halfback. Back to Moran again. Shapes to slide it through, then it's on to Paliasina! And Jeffries was hanging on, but he couldn't stop the big man from New Zealand. Paliasina gets over. March at dummy half, picks up from Griffin now. Throws it left, it's been lost. Went backwards, the referee says play on. Nervous handling is a reflection of the tension of the game. As Demetriou is in! Jason Demetriou! 2 minutes left to play. Wigan have to score here. Surely this is the set of 6. If they don't score now, it's game over, possibly season over. Here's Moran. Moran looks wide. It's Golding. Back inside. Richards for the line. Pat Richards has scored the try. It's a match winner for Wigan, but hang on. The referee wants a second look. Well, the ball's come free. The question is, did Halkamy pull it free in making the tackle, or was it a ball steal? Did Richards regather it before it went down in terms of getting it under control? Is this a try or no try? It's a crucial decision. It's no try. Wakefield survive. Wigan have lost again. Halfway through the season, they remain pinned to the foot of the table. It's a famous victory for Wakefield Trinity Wildcats. They continue their climb up the league. It is a big defeat for Wigan. It's time to worry for the Warriors.
Naturally, there was no sympathy from St Helens, who were starting to look over their shoulders at what was happening at Hull. The Black and Whites were unbeaten since Easter and upwardly mobile under the guidance of their new coach.
It's been very enjoyable. The players have been receptive and everyone's been very friendly, so I'm certainly enjoying it. I've watched them on telly quite a few times over the last 3 or 4 years and knew quite a few players that played here, Jason Smith and Richard Swain and Stephen Kearney from Melbourne, so I knew a bit about the club.
Tony goes on the run around, has the support of Yearman. Yearman's going to score. Kirk Yearman for Hull FC. Swain at dummy half. Here's Kirk Yearman. Yearman, oh, he's broken the tackle. Kirk Yearman! What a try! Hull FC heading for their 5th straight win.
Crucially, they were winning games against their playoff rivals, with back-to-back victories against both Bradford and Leeds.
Swain's at dummy half. Cook now, weighing up his options. Grubber kick through, missed by Donald. Rayner to score! Hull FC in top form.
Leeds' defeat left them in danger of losing sight of Saints at the top, but they ended the month with a trip to Odsal, which had become a happy hunting ground over the last few years.
Senior. Testing the resolve of that Bradford defence, and Burrow picks it up now, and a little step by Robbie Burrow. Off he goes! Rob Burrow flies through! They are not going to catch him. That's why they call him the tiny torpedo. Millard. Leeds looking to stretch and then back down the middle with Sinfield. Little kick from him, it's taken a ricochet. It's picked up by Poaching, who has the touchdown. Millard down the blind side, they go, they plunder as well. A little push for the line. Has he got there? Chev Walker has plenty of strength, and the referee has decided he got the clean touchdown as well. Bradford yet to make a breakthrough, and Leeds are threatening again through Ryan Bailey. Look at this, Bailey, 4 of them, couldn't stop him. He's twisted in.
Got it.
Here's Sinfield, Left to Senior, who's been relatively quiet tonight, but no longer. Suddenly, he erupts into life. Senior through. Great try.
Salford's success was being undermined by a run of narrow defeats, including a Henry Paul-inspired reverse against Harlequins. But the City Reds were still safely positioned in the top 6 as the season passed the halfway mark. Saints 6 clear at the top and Wigan 6 adrift at the bottom. It was still smiles all round at Knowsley Road, where Saints had yet to be beaten, but the round 16 meeting with Hull would be a real test, with Peter Sharp's men looking for their 8th consecutive victory.
Now here's Swain. Oh, great run from Richard Swain, and Kirk Yeaman does what Kirk Yeaman does best. Wellens juggles with the ball, Long, surely they won't stop Sean Long from that distance. Sean Long finishing off a sparkling St Helens move. Here is Richard Horne with a little dummy. Oh! Classy try from a classy player. Swain marshalling his troops. Here's Cook. Little dig forward, picks up the loose ball. Cook will go for the line, and Hull extend their lead. Paul Cook. Sean Long switches the play to the blind side. Here's Jamie Lyon. Lyon still going, and Jamie Lyon has scored for St Helens. A brilliant game. Long. Pass out to Lyon. Offload. Gardner. Gardner goes. Now has A.D. Gardner got Saints right back in this match? The video ref will give us the answer. Paul Cook it was with the tackle. And that is a try. The youngster, Tommy Lee. Paul Cook. He isn't going to try one from there, is he? Cook! What a goal from Paul Cook! In off the post. Fortune favours the brave. And has Cook kicked Hull to their first win at Knowsley Road since 1988.
And Hull just kept on winning. Victories over Harlequins and Castleford made it 10 in a row. Saints, meanwhile, had hit what for them was a rocky period, as the Hull setback was followed by defeat at Bradford.
This is good movement out to the far side. Quick hands again. Finacolo, and Finacolo gets another try for Bradford. Newton from acting halfback. Another good run from Newton. Deakin again, and Deakin will score.
The scramble for points at the bottom of the table included a dramatic win for Wakefield at Warrington, while Castleford found some form with a draw against Bradford and a scintillating win against Huddersfield.
Willie Manu now. Here's Gravy on. Wayne Price out wide. Back into Gravy on, who will score for the Castleford Tigers. What a try!
It left Wigan desperate for some results, so in came Michael Dobson, who'd understudied for Stacey Jones quite brilliantly at Catalan.
I was going to Catalan for the 12 weeks of experience and working with Stacey Jones was to better my game, and in the end I played all right footy, and then this come up, and Wigan being the club they are and in the position they are, I thought, why not try and help me out as much as I can. I felt like I was in Super League in France, but with the media attention, obviously I'm getting here at the moment trying to help Wigan stay out of relegation. Yeah, I definitely know I'm in Super League here. Yeah. I'm just here for the last 14 weeks, and if I can win half those games, well, I think we're a chance to stay out of relegation.
Nicky Hyam taking on the Dragons. Oh, great sidestep. Nicky Hyam is going by himself. What a try, Nicky Hyam. Go! Ashton at dummy half. Worked out wide to Dobson. Great grubber kick through. McAvoy is the grateful recipient. Hyam at dummy half. On to Scott Logan, the giant, driving towards the line. Hyam once again waits on as Beattie gets the tackle in. Hyam put past to Fletcher! Fletcher scored! Relief for the Warriors supporters.
Dobson's choice had made a difference for Wigan, but their next bit of business stunned the whole of rugby league, as a world record transfer brought Stuart Fielden from Bradford.
I'm coming to a club that's, you know, historically the biggest in rugby league. I've come here knowing they're going to stay up, but there's no clauses, there's no backdoor exits if they go down. I'm a Wigan player, and that's simply it.
He's a very committed player. He's got high personal standards in relation to his preparation, his performances, and that can only rub off on the rest of the team.
The loss of one of their greatest assets, though, had hit the Bradford fans hard, and they wanted some answers.
Stuart says that he was looking for a new challenge. He's also commented that, of course, the pay packet is also pretty fundamental to his thinking, so you must draw your own conclusions.
With Dobson and now Fielden on board, Wigan broke new ground for Super League 11, with back-to-back wins for the first time during the season. Brian Noble's influence was finally starting to show, and optimism was growing at the JJB that the Great Escape was very much on. The gap was closing at the top and the bottom. With Catalan exempt from relegation, Wigan were now 4 points from safety. Saints 2 clear at the top. If Super League had started in July, then Wigan would have been challenging for the title. Instead, 3 wins at the start of the month merely moved them off the bottom.
It's Danny Orr, now Fletcher. Fletcher has the ball and Ashton will score. It's exactly what Wigan needed. And here comes Ashton, and Chris Ashton with another vital Wigan try. It's a good run again by Fletcher. He's found the angle of the pass for Calderwood. And the winger scoots over, and doesn't he love the moment? Danny Orr in support, and Danny Orr will race away. Wigan might just be home and dry now.
Noble had lifted the pressure at Wigan, but the clouds of relegation were now hanging over 4 of his rivals. Cass, Huddersfield and Wakefield weren't out of the woods, and neither were Harlequins, who were the first to blink as Tony Ray moved upstairs and Brian McDermott took control at the Stoop.
Big decision both from leaving the club where I was, you know, and then to join a promising club like Harlequins. You know, to become head coach of any club's a big decision, but under the circumstances and, you know, how quick the decision was made, it's been a big one.
It was a decision that paid an immediate dividend, though, as Harlequins became the first side since April to beat Hull. Every point was crucial now, though, as Castleford stayed on the up with a surprise win over Leeds.
What a brilliant try from Danny Ward! Now what top draw!
Perhaps the biggest turning point, though, was the round 21 victory for Huddersfield over Wakefield, as the Giants came from 20-0 down to record a crucial win over their relegation rivals. It was a turning point for Trinity, who relieved Tony Smith of his duties the following day. The heat was on in the Wildcats dressing room, and Chief Executive Steve Ferris took control of the team for the game against Bradford.
Newton, here's Deacon, finding Iestyn Harris. Iestyn Harris, great ball out wide to Price. It's a walking try for Carl Price. Terrible start for the Wildcats. Newton, here's Harris, finding Deacon. Angle run from him to Langley. Oh, the Bradford Bulls turn it on again. Where was the Wildcats defence? Harris, teasing kick forward. Oh, it's spilled. Henderson. Henderson scored. Henderson a dummy half to Iestyn Harris. Neat little sidestep. Tries to get away from Obst. Keeps his feet, and now Burgess. The Bradford Bulls attacking with pace. Ferris to Vanaccolo. Vanaccolo in the clear to Harpy. Oh, he's going to score. End-to-end stuff. Great from the Bradford Bulls.
With the Wildcats sinking to the bottom of the table, the business end was fast approaching at the top, as Saints pulled clear of Leeds on a stormy night at Headingley.
This is Burrow. Always scampering, always lively. Maguire. Ellis, good ball. Good angle of attack here, and suddenly Leeds, he had 4 on the inside, but he has the confidence to go on the outside of Wellens. Leeds have the lead. Vassavalu at dummy half. He's going to try and go himself. Has he got there? Well, the referee is going to ask for a second opinion. There's a bundle and a tangle of arms there. The try is given. The benefit of the doubt goes St Helens' way. Real chance to hammer this Leeds line again now. Oh, it's been spilled. It's Senior, and Keith Senior will take off. There's plenty chasing him, but Gardner's beaten. Jamie Lyons chasing too. He's not going to quite stop him. Keith Senior with a terrific run. Not long before half-time. This is good play by Gilmore. Has he got over? Well, the soggy pitch might just have gone St Helens' way here, because it's helped Gilmore slide over. There's no doubts there, that's a single movement. The try is given, and what a time to score just before the break. Here's Cunningham. That's a good ball. Here's Gilmore again. Gilmore steps inside the fullback. Tansey couldn't cope with him, and Gilmore scores a very important try.
The man of the moment, though, was Richard Horne, who scored in his 11th consecutive game to equal a 92-year-old club record, with a little help from his little brother.
Graham Horne will score. No, he won't. It's his brother Richard.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It's been a long time getting there, and it's fantastic to be a part of it all and part of a record. So it's a great achievement for me. I've been made aware of it through, like I say, the press and media and things like that. So as soon as my brother Brock, and I knew I could get there, I was right on his tail, just screaming for it, and like I say, eventually give it to me. I was doubting whether he was going to at first, but then I think he had a few words that probably shouldn't be repeated, and he ended up giving it to me, and like I say, ended up getting off and equaling the record.
Hull were now level with Leeds in second place. Tony Smith's men were on the slide after losing the Challenge Cup semi-final to Huddersfield, and it was too close to call at the foot of the table. With Saints nearly out of sight, the battle for second place was the main issue at the top of the table. Hull's meeting with Leeds would give the winners a vital advantage in securing the runners-up spot.
Swain now the captain for Hull FC, worked out wide by Cook to Rayner, who will score in the corner. The former Leeds player opens the scoring. It's a deserved 4-pointer for Hull FC. Cook now, as it's worked wide to Shane McMenemy. McMenemy dinks the ball over the top. Rayner sniffs an opportunity, takes on Donald, and he scored. Unbelievable try from Gareth Rayner. What a start for the home side. Leeds Rhinos on a rare foray forward. Sinfield's crossfield kick towards Keith Senior. Keith Senior's claimed it away from Blacklock, and he scored. Leeds finally find their form at the KC Stadium. Opportunity now for Hull to Tomic. Hull turn on the style once again. Still Hull FC come forward. They're giving no inch today. Motu Tony, the New Zealand international, looks to turn. Little dink over the top comes in, and Hull FC pressure. Richard Whiting back off the post. Has he got the ball down? Richard Whiting thinks he has. The referee checks the big screen. Oh, good footballing skills here. It ricochets back off the post. Well, that to me is a try. Shane Millard's at dummy half for the Leeds Rhinos. Trying to stretch forward now is Rob Burrow. Burrow with a long ball out wide towards Clinton Torpey. Looks to find Scott Donald. Scott Donald will score the try just when Leeds needed it most. Swain urging Hull FC forward. Grab a kick down to the bottom corner. More dodgy defending. Whiting's in again. Clinton Torpey. Great little sidestep. Now he breaks away the New Zealand international, helps it on towards Jamie Jones Buchanan.
The situation at Wakefield had got worse by the week. Losing to Wigan and then Huddersfield had cost Tony Smith his job. And desperate times put a desperate Steve Ferris in the dugout, which only brought another desperately poor performance against Bradford. So, who were they going to call? There was only one man for the job.
John, are you going to be offered the Wakefield job this week? My phone's here.
Out of work since April, John Keir was back with 6 games to save the Wildcats.
You've got to approach every game as a must-win game, and you know, cup finals you don't get a second chance. But unfortunately, all the teams have been picking points up around Wakefield. Well, we've got to start picking some up now.
And where better to start than at the Jungle, where 2 points gained for Wakefield would be 2 points lost for Castleford.
Wildcats have lost 5 on the spin. That's why John Keir is now in the coaching hot seat. Jeffries, Solomona, good opportunity. Tadulala, what a start for Wakefield. Well, what's happening there? Jason Demetriou. Now Henderson went to tap the ball. Demetriou may well have thought he'd done just that. But you know what? He did. Fire and brimstone derby at the Jungle. McGoldrick, so influential for the Tigers this season. Well, what on earth is Monty Beetham doing there? The referee will have to sort this out. Well, Beetham has just lost the plot. A moment of madness from the Wakefield captain. Now, what will Richard Silverwood do about this? Wakefield are down to 12 men. The skipper is sent off. There's no point shaking his head. The right decision from the referee. Evans. Halpenny for the corner. Wakefield have got another. It could be one of the most important tries of Colm Halpenny's career. Rooney does well to recover. That's a good kick. Evans! Surely that's the try that'll give Wakefield 2 priceless points. Here's Saxton, still Saxton! This is going to be something special to round it all off against his former club, Tommy Saxton, with a 4th try for Wakefield.
Keir predicted that 4 wins from their remaining 6 matches would save Wakefield. Victory number 2 came against Catalan before a narrow defeat against Leeds.
It's Diskin at dummy half now. It'll move back to the middle once more. Peacock looks to offload and does. It's Diskin who dances to his left, and Half finds the gap with a handoff off March. Has support from Senior. Senior to Lauatiti. It's back inside. It's going to be a blistering start for Leeds. What a start for them.
Castleford had slipped into reverse gear. They conceded 72 against St Helens and then another 48 against Bradford to leave them just a point clear of Wakefield at the bottom. Wigan's revival was hindered when they were docked 2 points for a breach of the salary cap. But victories over Leeds and then Huddersfield took them above the Giants in the table. But the 2 points lost destroyed any hope of them reaching the playoffs. Bradford were also docked 2 points, effectively ending their push for a third-place finish. The first weekend of September was the time when the relegation picture started to become a little clearer.
Mark Calderwood could be away here. Back inside, here's a real opportunity for the Wigan Warriors, who will score through Chris Ashton.
Wigan beat Bradford to move up to the 20-point mark, and Huddersfield did likewise when they beat Salford. Wakefield put up a spirited showing at Knowsley Road and even went in front against the leaders as they continued to fight for their lives. But with the league leaders' shield at stake for Saints, the retiring Paul Anderson and the departing Jamie Lyon combined to power the home side to victory. So what of Castleford? Their final home fixture of the season brought Harlequins to town for some Saturday night jungle fever, when a Cass win would be priceless.
Here comes Brough out wide. McGoldrick with a run, has support on the outside from Dyer, and Castleford have the first try. They want to play the ball quick here. Faioso quickly to his feet. It's Sculthorpe's chip. It's McGoldrick's finish. What a combination. It's Randall who's at dummy half. Little run by him back inside for Dawn, and Dawn for Sykes. Here comes Hormona. Well played by him. It's kept alive. It's Purdham. Rob Purdham's tearing through them, and Williams will score. Henderson away. Lupton's ball back inside. Here comes the driving run of Manu, and Willie Manu celebrates what could be a very important Castleford try. Here comes a sixth. Should be the kick. They've gone short. It's Sculthorpe who's through. Here's Davis. Suddenly it's on. Brad Davis is clear. It's a delicate chip to the in-goal area again. Fletcher will score. What a try that was. Totally implausible.
It was a win that left Cass 3 points clear of Wakefield with just 2 games to go. The Wildcats knew they had to win at Bradford to stand any chance of survival.
Newton. This is Lynch. Does well to get the ball away. Bradford looking expansively here. Shontaine happy, stepping inside too. Has support from Myers, and now the way is opening up, and here comes Withers. It's a classic Bradford try. That left-hand side is so potent. It's Rooney. Jeffries helps it on again. Solomona, good ball out to Tajulala, and Semi Tajulala simply bursting through. Here's Latu. Oh, they've got loads of room here, and it's Halpenny who slides in. Bradford's defence was stretched beyond breaking point. It is turning into quite a night for Wakefield here. And Halpenny sliding over, and suddenly they are beginning to believe that survival is more than just a possibility. Look like some weary bodies there as Solomona picks up from dummy half, has support, and a try for Katic. My word! Suddenly there's daylight between the sides. Deacon sends it high. Steepling kick. Who's underneath this one? It's allowed to bounce. It's Harris who has it, and Withers in support. And finally Bradford get their breakthrough. Pick up and a scamper by Henderson. Harris helps it on again. It's a little chip forward, this time by Ferris, but it's collected by Demetriou. Can he get out of play? Oh, he's done ever so well, Jason Demetriou. He was behind the in-goal, and he's beaten 3 players to get there. The fingers are going again from John Keir. You can always tell when the stress is on. But Demetriou, superb play, absolutely superb. Well, listen to the countdown now. They know they have picked up a vital victory. Absolutely crucial to their survival. If they'd lost tonight, they would have been down. But they have won, and in handsome style. This incredible recovery under John Keir continues. Wakefield still have real hope of staying in the Super League.
While Wakefield were dreaming the impossible dream, Castleford were contemplating a nightmare. The Tigers and Wildcats were scheduled to meet in the final round, but a Cass win against Salford would take them out of reach. The Tigers fans travelled in their thousands to try and roar their team to safety.
cutting forward, finding Malcolm Alka. He tries to shrug off Platt. He's going to score. Platt, McGoldrick, Dyer. Oh, what a swift response from the Tigers. The level. Into Sculthorpe, who scores. The Tigers head further ahead. What a big try that could be. Alka. He's going to kick through. Williams in the corner. That's his first ever try. Salford just refused to lie down. Here's Luke Robinson trying to get away from Ward. He has! He scored for the Salford City Reds! Once again to Coley! How did the Tigers let him in? Here's Robinson. Slips. He gets it back to Hodgson. It's a nightmare for the Castleford Tigers as Salford score again. Terry Matson knows the relegation dogfight goes to the wire.
So after 27 weeks and months of heartache for a whole host of clubs, it would all come down to one game. Wakefield against Castleford. Winner stays up, loser goes down.
It'll be the derby of all derbies. It is a one-off situation. It's going to be a real difficult game. It's all going to be down to that 80 minutes. It's the old cliche. It's a one-off game and anything can happen.
2 weeks ago we had a good weekend, everything went for us, and everything went against Wakefield. Last weekend everything went for Wakefield's way and everything went against us, so you know that's the drama.
I found it's a heartbreaking situation that either club has to be relegated. It's very difficult with it being a local derby, and I know what it means to both towns and to both clubs.
£1.3 million cost to the side that goes down. They lose all the players, they lose some of their admin staff, and they have to start again in 2 years' time, providing they are promoted again.
It's our cup final, it's our damn final, this is the one we've got to win.
We're going to have 34 men playing for the Super League lives on both sides, fighting tooth and nail.
Losing this could be end for us for Wakefield. It's just one game that we can't afford to lose.
It means everything to us. We'll be talking about it in pubs one way or another, drowning our sorrows or celebrating from our night.
New ground for Wakefield. They've never been relegated since they arrived in Super League in 1998. They've had lots of experience of battling for survival. Castleford, they've experienced it once before. They know what they need to do. They've been there. They realise how tough it's going to be. Local derbies are huge matches, but the stakes are just so immense.
Probably glad I'm working Saturday. It takes your mind off it a little bit. It's just a shame it's come right down to the last game, really. So.
It's got everything, hasn't it? I mean, it really has got everything, and it's a shame, in all honesty, that one of these teams will go down because. I think it's the strongest team that will have gone out of Super League since Super League inception.
Castleford are poised. It's hammered in by Sculthorpe, but there's no way through. Now it's back. Little dab kick to the in-goal area. Oh, Solomona's missed it. Has Manu got the touch? He's convinced he has. Well, Solomona, it was really ragged. Did Manu get enough of downward pressure? Tries given. Castleford have the first touchdown of the night. Willie Manu, the scorer. Kicks driven downfield. It's not a good one, though. It's taken too easily by Platt. Oh, this is a good run by Michael Platt, and suddenly he's found the road. Michael Platt. Terrific return by the fullback. Adam Fletcher from dummy half. Oh, he's got the pace. Adam Fletcher for the corner. What a try. What a sensational touchdown that was. The return was fantastic from Platt. The finish from Fletcher was something else. Katic offloads Beetham, kicks it anywhere. Evans Oh, what a stroke of luck for Wakefield. But you do make your own luck, you make your own fortune, and the Wildcats made it here. Demetriou, little footballing skills from him again here. Here comes Demetriou with a step. Oh, he's shrugged off Ward. Demetriou, oh, what a try! Ball out of sheer determination. Henderson scuttling in at dummy half. It's moved back to the middle. Wakefield's defence just about holding firm. But for how long here? Castleford through Nutley. Danny Nutley, has he scored? He has, you know. Great power, and he just had the reach and the control. They'll pick up and dash again here. Obbs gets it on its way. Beetham! Monty Beetham! Was it a double movement? That's the question the referee's asking. Was there a hand on him here? I don't think there was. He's allowed to get up from there. He's allowed to score. Tries given by the video referee. And Wakefield, in this topsy-turvy game, are back in front again. It's Solomono quickly away. It's Henderson. Henderson's over. And it might just be the try that sees Wakefield survive. You can see how much it means to both sides. Still anxious moments. Is there time for a Castleford comeback? Here's a big kick by Rooney. Oh, it's allowed to bounce! And Evans scores! No doubts now! Absolutely no doubts at all! Wakefield are going to survive! It is Castleford who will be relegated. 6 weeks ago it looked impossible, but John Keir's miracle has worked. Wakefield survive in the Super League with the most dramatic of victories.
You've been involved in some fantastic occasions, Sheffield 98 and Hull last year. Does this compare to those?
Yeah, it does. It's a great feeling of euphoria. I mean, and it's when you've worked hard and you're rewarded. And it's marvellous to feel that, you know, that you've fronted up, you've grafted, and there's some reward for it. And the reward really comes through what the players have done. They've been sensational, they really have. And you've got to give them the plaudits, pat them on the back. They really did turn the season round.
Your players got a standing ovation from the Wakefield fans at the end. That says a lot about what a season you've had this season, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. You know, no one deserves to go down, and it's a massive disappointment. I thought we made great strides this year, but at the end of the day, a standing ovation from the Wakefield crowd doesn't help us really. You know, it is nice, but you know, I'd rather see them boo us at the end, and you know, we're still alive. So I'm not too sure what happens now.
Have you coped this week? Because it's been a tense week. I believe you've done a bit of ironing.
Yeah, I did. Well, obviously I plan my strategies to the nth degree, would say, on game day, but then I always like a couple of hours ironing, and my shirts, I'll tell you, they're the best iron shirts in Super League.
And they'll be the best kept shirts next season too, after Wakefield survived in the most dramatic ever finish to a Super League season. Meanwhile, the teams at the top were turning their eyes on Old Trafford, where sponsors Engage revealed the lineup for the 2006 Dream Team.
There's some quality players involved, and you know, it just shows the amount of talent that's in Super League. You probably could have picked another few players, you know, that deserve to be here. So, you know, a great squad, and you know, it'd be nice to play with a few of these players.
It's an honour to be, you know, regarded, you know, amongst the quality of player that's here today, and it's a great achievement for myself and for the other players that are involved.
5 St Helens players made the Dream Team lineup: Wilkin, Lyon, Cunningham, Long and Man of Steel Paul Wellens.
I've been here 10 years now, and it's been the best team I've played with. Not just the starting 13, but you know, the subs and the, you know, the staff and the players who you know, the squad as of 25 is just awesome.
Special recognition for Catalan's Justin Murphy, the league's top try scorer.
This year has been a great learning curve for us. We've had over 20 French players make their debut, and it's the first time that they've really been professional this year. So next year I think we'll have more experience and be better for it.
To be named next to Jamie Lyon in the centres, you know, it's a privilege really. The lads have just been enjoying the rugby. You know, it's just told us to go out there and just enjoy it, and that's what the boys have been doing. You know, they've stuck together. You know, there ain't no superstars in our team. You know, we just play as a team, and it's worked, and the lads are really enjoying the rugby.
Danny Nutley made the Dream Team despite Castleford's relegation. David Hodgson's selection on the wing was recognition for Salford's fine campaign. St Helens dominated the selections though, and they showed why in the penultimate round of the season, with a masterclass against Leeds.
Little probe down the blind side, it's back to Jamie Lyon, and Lyon is in for the night's first try. This is Long, who hoists it high. Real tester for Tansey, who's at full-back. He's taken it well enough. Wellens is up there, it's been ripped away, picked up by Wilkin. Look how quickly St Helens are onto this. Long is in for the second touchdown. Tansey, another desperate kick on the last. And it'll be Wellens who fields possession. How good is this Leeds chase now? Well, he's got Francis Melly here in support. Melly with a handoff on Donald, and suddenly it's Melly who's away. Look at him go. They're chasing him hard, but Melly's going to go all the way for a quite fabulous St Helens try. Scintillating stuff. Cunningham looking to get things moving again. Here's Long, and quickly to Price, and Price to Bennett, to Wellens, to Lyon. Terrific handling all along the line here, St Helens. Look at the speed again, the movement. Great try. Hooper searching down that blind side. It's back to Wilkin, who's got great speed, a delicate kick, and Lyon's in for a hat-trick. Unbelievable. Price spins it away. This is Long. Long to Lyon, to Gardner. It's another Saints touchdown. Wonderful, wonderful stuff from St Helens tonight. Unstoppable, absolutely unstoppable. Wellens. Oh, that's good from Far-Savalou. It's still good from Far-Savalou. It's terrific work. And now it's on to Bennett. Bennett looks inside. Good tackle by Tansey, just about brings him down, but St Helens are primed again now. Cunningham spinning it away, over the top. It's not intercepted, it's Price. Price left again. Melly with a step, and it's a try. Cunningham. Sharp pick up and take by him again. Well, he's still going. Just about pulled down in the end. Chev Walker, the man who did the business, but St Helens prompting and probing again with a little kick, and Wellens drops on it. Sean Long, inch perfect. Wellens superb. Cunningham. Back to Price, good offload by him. Cunningham gets it on again, and Wilkin puts the foot down. He's got the pace, and he has support from Wellens, who hands off, just about holds off Donald's tackle, and slides in for another moment of pure celebration. The champagne flows again for St Helens. A little step, almost taking Price over. It's Cunningham on the sixth tackle here. He tried to push in. There were too many Leeds defenders there, but has the strength to twist it away. Wellens has switched it to Lyon. Gardner. Saints are in again. There is no answer from this Leeds defence. Great switch of angles there from Wellens. Spotted the weakness on that far side. And look who's taking the kick. Paul Anderson. It's not a bad one either. It's terrific. The big prop forward has added the two, and they cannot believe it. Everything is going St Helens' way tonight. Well, that's what it's all about. The League Leaders Trophy confirmed as in the possession of St Helens tonight. Paul Sculthorpe injured, of course, and Sean Long collecting the trophy. It's 2 out of 3 from St Helens' point of view. The Challenge Cup and the League Leaders Trophy now. Is there to be a grand final and a Super League title still to come?
So, Saints took the honours at the top, but Peter Sharp's Hull had been sensational since Easter. Leeds, Bradford, Salford and Warrington joined them in the playoffs. The opening night of playoff action sent Warrington to Headingley, where traffic trouble meant they arrived just half an hour before the kick-off. It was time for the Rhinos to put an inconsistent end to the season behind them, though the Wolves had other plans.
It's Burrow again with a little duck and a step. Oh, he's underneath. He virtually crawled underneath the fullback. It is an astonishing try by Rob Burrow. It is one only he could score. It's a great start for Leeds. It's Briers. There are plenty of options. He missed most of them, and it's Reardon who collects an untidy ball, but might make something of it. Farfili for the corner, and the referee is going to ask the question. The square's in the air. It's up to the video referee from here.
Well, he's really having a good look, Dave. I think he'll give this. I think he'll give this, because he's grounded the ball on the goal line.
The decision is a try for Warrington, and it is not popular amongst the locals, but those Warrington fans are jubilant. What a response from the Wolves. Burrow fancied a little dart and a dabble, and Rob Burrow is suddenly in his stride, and Luca is following him. Maguire, away he goes. Danny Maguire. Well, he's a finisher, but Rob Burrow started it all. Piece of magic from the Leeds scrum half. Barely a smile from his coach. Here's Briers again. Now there's room. Sullivan with the overlap, doesn't need it, slides in. What a start to the second half for Warrington. They're right back in it again. We've got a real game in our hands now. Here's Sullivan. Now Briers. Briers with a kick behind the line. It's a terrific chase. Westwood slides in. That could be a huge moment in this game. The referee has given it. Warrington now, once more, they're right back in it. Here comes the last. It's a drop goal attempt from Kevin Sinfield. He's put it over. 17-16 Leeds lead. 4 tackles gone, 2 to come. Here it comes with Sullivan with a dummy and the reach, but well, need to be 8'3" to have reached from there.
Will Briers equal the score, or will he go for 4?
Here it comes, Briers on the right foot. He's just got it away. It's another 1-pointer. It's level again. It's 17 points apiece. Is there going to be any way of separating these two sides? They're running out of tackles here. Bridge wants to keep it down the middle. Briers will go for the drop goal. This time, has he got the space? Yes, he has! What a kick! Lee Briers! 2 minutes! Less than that, 1 minute and 30 seconds to play, and Lee Briers with what might just be the biggest point of his career. What a boot!
And while Briers steered Warrington through against Leeds, Shantaine Happe scored a playoff record 4 tries for Bradford, as the champions stepped up their defence of the Super League crown with a hammering of Salford. Once again, the Bulls looked to be getting it right when it mattered most.
Deacon again. Good pass. Short side again. There he is in! Shantaine Happe in again. Shantaine Happe rolling in. That's his 4th try of the night.
So it was back to Odsal the following week for a second-round meeting between the Bulls and the Wolves. Plenty of points and more playoff drama.
Newton again. Good running from the Aberdeen half-back position. Deacon, short pass. Oh, it is Happe. Oh, it's a try for Michael Withers. One more tackle for Warrington here now to contain. Beautiful turn, and Michael Withers is in again. Superb short passing there at the plate of ball, and Withers just strolled in. He could have had a cup of tea as he put the ball down. Yes, Dean Harris. Deacon moving it wide. Withers, can he get the ball away? Yes, he does. To McKenna. Carl Price. Big man. He's got one to shrug off. Good pass. Oh, and it's a try now for Deacon. Gleeson. Good ball. That's a try. And Briers is over at the side of the post. Warrington about to fight back. 4 points to the Wolves. Hope at last. Briers again, just wondering what to do. Here's a chance. It's scored. Henry Farfeely has scored. The referee gives the try at the corner. Masterly precision kick by Lee Briers, and Henry Farfeely touches down for his 25th try of the season. Briers back inside again to Reardon. Good movement by Reardon. Just can't get there, but he gets the pass away. Briers gets it to Sullivan. Here's a chance for Warrington now on this left-hand side. Oh, and he's in at the corner. Shirley Toy, Coylov is in at the corner. No hesitation from Mr. Silverwood. And Warrington strike back again. Briers pushes it out wide. Good long ball out again to Toa Coylov. They've got space here. Richie Barnett, he's got the ball inside. And Warrington will score again. Reardon is over at the side of the post. The fans are going wild on the terrace in here. Moving it out wide. Deacon, brilliant little run. And a try. Under the post. Magnificent sidestep. Spotted the gap, went for it, and the Bulls are back in the lead again. "15 metres from the Bradford line. Warrington going down this side. Just couldn't take it. And Viney Colo is pounding away. Can he go the length of the field? We said he had a bad knee. It doesn't seem too bad at the moment. And Big Leslie smiles all round. Wonderful try, the length of the field sends the Bradford fans into raptures. Leslie Viney-Colo going for the corner again. Oh, just can't get there on the 5th tackle. There's a chance. Oh, and I think Michael Withers has got his hand down on that try. And Michael Withers collects another try there in the corner. A hat-trick of tries for Michael Withers. A smile on Steve McNamara's face, but he knows it's been hard tonight.
The first semi-final brought the top two together at Knowsley Road, where Paul Cook's drop goal had beaten Saints in the regular season, and it would be almost as close again.
Long, Price, Leon Price with a step off the right foot. The defender was already working on Hooper, so Hooper really couldn't get into his stride there. Now it's thrown out wide, untidily, left and picked up by Gardner, who somehow finds a way back through. But here's Cook again now, just laying it off. Ewan Dowes can't get it away. Wanted to offload but couldn't. This is Swain. King was the dummy runner. Here's Cook again, fires it out. Hall, they've got numbers here. They've got numbers here for Yeoman, who's in at the corner. Now that was a good try. Kurt Yeoman plunges in, and Hull have responded very quickly here. Good score. Oh, with a quick ball, Gilmore on the angle, inside, outside, just held on to by Melly, touches down. Is it a forward? Referee's not going to give it, he's going to give the try. Can't go to the video referee for a forward pass. Francis Melly. It might just be the try that opens the door to Old Trafford for St Helens.
Saints were indeed on their way to Manchester after securing their grand final berth at the first attempt. The army of Hull fans headed home though for the second chance semi, which would bring them up against Bradford. Hull had never been to a grand final, but were desperate for another crack at St Helens.
It's a terrific break here. Wasper's got the ball inside. They're going to strike so early, so early. Less than 50 seconds played, and Richard Horne dashes in underneath the sticks. What a start by Hull. Rushbrook to Horn again, and they're going to put the kick on straight away, and Motu Tony's after this. He needed a kind bounce, it was. It's Motu Tony for the corner. It's a terrific try by Hull. Nobody home for Bradford. It's Deacon again with a kick. Motu Tony underneath it. Knocks it backwards. Bradford have it. Great defending. Was it good enough? Has he got the ball now? Referee isn't sure. Square in the air is required here.
As a contestant for the ball. The grounding's okay.
I think this is a try to the Bradford Bulls, Dave. I think that's a fair competition for the ball. I don't think there's any knock on there. Brett Ferris picks up the spoils, and I think he's grounded this okay once he gets over the line.
Try is given. Richard Horn away again. Cook on two. They're outnumbered on the white, and it's Yeaman who crosses. It's a real blow for the Bradford Bulls. It's a huge lift for Hull FC. They kept their composure when it mattered the most, and Hull are 2 scores clear again. It's Happe. Harris. Now it's with Deacon. Here's Henderson. Back inside. Ben Harris with a step. It's McKenna, in fact, who's going to be put down. Newton. Quick ball, easy ball, he's over. Bradford do have hope. Jamie Langley. Here's the countdown. That is it. Hull FC in their first ever grand final. Peter Sharp has worked his magic this year and has taken them to the biggest stage of them all. They will meet St Helens. Bradford's proud record in the playoffs finally ends. Steve McNamara with a shake of the hand to his opposite number. But Bradford, after 5, cannot make it 6. It's Hull who go through.
Congratulations. How does that feel?
Oh, don't know yet. Hasn't sunk in. It's a magnificent effort and a magnificent crowd and a great occasion. So, really enjoyed it.
Is it something you could have imagined when you arrived here those months ago?
Not beyond my wildest dreams. No, you know, we thought we had a chance getting towards the back end of the season, particularly if we finished in the top 2, which we did. So that gave us a second opportunity, and just a bit of a fairy tale, actually.
But would there be a happy ending for Hull, or would the Saints march home with the big prize to complete an incredible season? A packed Old Trafford couldn't wait to find out. Let battle commence.
There's never been a bigger crowd for a grand final, and I don't think it has ever been as loud as this either. Long now with a kick to the corner. Briscoe's after it. It's going to be a touchdown there. Francis Mellick flies in. Carl Kirkpatrick points the finger. St Helens have first blood. Opening try of the night, and it was Francis Mellick. 6th tackle again, familiar territory. It's Cook, puts it high. Who's going to get out there? It's taken by Turner. McMenemy, back again! It's touchdown! It's going to count! Sid Domick! Great play by Hull! And Sid Domick has levelled things up. The black and whites are in raptures. It's all square again. We've taken our hats off to St Helens, but this time it was Hull FC who showed terrific creativity. It's picked up by Roby from dummy half. Now Long, here's Price, big moments before half-time. Leon Price with a break for the corner, and Leon Price with a big try. What a season he's had, and what a moment he's just delivered to his side. There are literally seconds to go to half-time, and the big game player delivers. It's Cunningham behind Graham, not the best of balls. Roby does well to juggle it. Here comes Hooper, onto Tallow. Tallow with a score. How many times have we seen that? just when it seemed to be going wrong for St Helens, they conjure something out of absolutely nothing. They turn a mistake into a moment of the sublime. Here's a sixth, Long again, has a look for the kick, there's a man very, very wide. Gardner all the way out there, oh, has he got that? The referee's not sure, Gardner's convinced. I tell you, if this is a try, it's not just 4 points, it's a miracle.
He thinks it's a try, doesn't he? You can tell with his reaction. Gardner's timed his run superbly. Fumble, fumble, fumble. Well, I don't know if he has got it.
Stephen Presley pushes the button that says try. And it might just say St Helens Super League champions 2006. Here comes Cunningham. Short, flat ball, Farsavalou. Great ball back, Cunningham! He's like a little bull. Barges over.
Just look how he really carries the ball aggressively. And then he's got the presence of mind just to pop it out the back door. And a great low finish from Cunningham. I think he knows.
It's a team that goes into history. The Challenge Cup, the League Leaders' Shield, and now the Super League trophy itself. It is a clean sweep for a vintage side. St Helens are the side of 2006. They have entertained us royally throughout the year, and they thoroughly deserve this moment in the spotlight. What a year, the year of the Saints. Comprehensive winners of everything they could lay their hands on.